Do you know any Luganda words?
I do not.
Not any.
No,
What? It's not
I've
your first
never
time.
been here.
But it's
This
not
is
your
my
first-
second time here.
Okay. And you've not learnt any Luganda word?
No. Last time I came here, I flew in one day, flew out the day after the show. This time I came in yesterday.
Yesterday. And you're living, you're spending here almost like 3 days?
3 days, yeah.
At least you should learn some.
Okay, this man is here. You're going to teach me. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you want? What word do you want me to teach me?
It should start with you. Which one do you want to learn?
What word do I want to learn? I want to learn for the ladies. Are you single? That's the most useful thing.
The most useful thing.
Most useful thing. And in fact, what am I saying? They might be willing to cheat. So, more. Are you interested?
Or negoba.
Negoba.
Uh-huh.
Negoba. And what about I'll buy you a phone?
Hey, ndakugulira esimu. Hey, what told you that Ugandan ladies love phones?
Hey, I found out very quickly.
Hey.
No, I remember. I came into the country with a phone for Ugandan lady.
Hey.
I know they love the phones, they love earphones as well.
Okay. So how are you?
I'm good, man.
How are you
Good,
finding
good, good.
Uganda?
I love it. It's also like I'm escaping the cold. England right now is cold and wet. So it's coming to beauty, heat, the food tastes better, the music's better. It's just, I'll tell you, whenever I'm in England, I miss Africa. So I was like, oh, definitely.
Okay. How long have you been living home?
So, no, I live in the UK for 15 years. But really, I'm a comedian, so I'm a nomad. I actually live in hotel rooms.
Oh.
When I actually think about, like last month, I was home for 3 days. So I travel to different countries, I go on cruise ships, I come here. For me, the job is you're always traveling.
Always traveling. But
Yeah.
your best home right now is UK.
UK.
When do you get a chance to go back to Zambia?
Zambia, I never go. Malawi, I
Malawi.
go because I'm Malawian. I go to Malawi for Christmas, see my family, and then I also go there to do shows. So I probably go twice a year to Malawi.
Okay. Do you have kids?
I have no kids. My girlfriend has a kid, but I don't have a kid. So you know, surrogate parent, stepfather, I guess. But I don't have any kids myself.
How do you do that?
What do you mean? How do you do that?
Don't you wish to have biological ones?
No, it's not for everyone. In fact, I would rather, actually, I hope she doesn't watch. I'd rather she didn't have kids. I don't want any kids around.
How do you come to that? Why?
I've got nieces and nephews, but for me, it's not, like, not everybody is a father. I'm not a father. You know what I mean? Like, but either way, I don't have any kids.
Everyone. Every
How many
human-
kids do you have?
I have 3.
3. I see. You want other people to be as miserable as you.
Exactly, kids
You
being
want
miserable.
to share it. Yes. You don't sleep. You're stressed.
No way. Every human being in life wants to live a good life with their family,
No,
biological
look,
kids.
for you, that's your path to happiness. Everyone's got a different path to happiness. So some people's path to happiness is kids and a big family. Other people's path is, for me, it's writing, it's performance, it's traveling the world, having all these experiences. That's my joy. But I think everyone's got to find their joy.
Okay. Don't people way back home, like in Malawi, ask you, why don't you give us grandkids? Like,
No, look, my oldest brother has 6 children. My second oldest has 4. Right? My parents have enough kids to play with. They're like, fine. In fact, they're relieved. They're relieved I don't have kids. They're like, we have less names to remember and less houses to visit. So it's fine. Like, but again, it's like, for you, have 4, have 5, have 7. But for me, 0. It's just different people, different joy.
okay, how is the world of comedy? How do you take it?
So for me, it's a lot of writing jokes, and then so I probably spend half the year writing a new show, and then the other half of it touring around the world doing it. Right. So like after Uganda, in 2 weeks I'm going to Zambia. I've got shows in the UK in the middle. Then the week after that I go to do Norway. So I just go wherever, and it's absolutely wonderful. But you've got to love the life, because some people don't want to travel so much. For me, it's perfect.
It's perfect. Don't people receive you as a joking person even if you're serious?
Not really. I mean, it's like if you're a singer, people don't expect you to be walking around the streets singing all the time. So it's the same thing. When I'm working, I'm funny, but in life, I don't have to be cracking jokes. I know how to do it if I want to, like if I want to impress someone. But most of the time, I'm just normal. I'm even a bit quiet. If you watch like people like Eddie Murphy, he's very quiet.
Yo,
But then he goes on stage, the madness comes out. So I
Okay.
keep the madness for the stage.
for the stage, the
Yeah.
race. Apart from being a comedian, do you have any other business you do?
I also write, so I write fiction, I write jokes for other comedians, but it's all creative. It's all creative. I wrote a book. It's all writing.
Okay, let's come here in Uganda. You've been here in Uganda. This is your second time,
Second
right?
time,
How do you find our comedy?
I find it's interesting because I think it needs to grow more because you've got so much potential here. Because like Malawi, for example, has funny people, but Malawians have no money,
Ah,
right?
They are poor.
We don't have enough
Oh,
money.
it's poverty hurting them.
So this is the problem is because here actually people have enough money to go out.
Yep.
People go out a lot.
Yep.
So that gives an opportunity for the comedians to get an audience, to get a huge career, which is not possible in Tanzania, places I've done like Malawi, where Uganda has the potential to be as big a comedy scene as somewhere like Nigeria, where there are loads of successful comics. So I think you just need more shows.
More shows.
More shows.
Okay. And if the kind of comedy we're doing, how do you receive it?
Well, look, I don't even know because we went to a comedy show yesterday, but it was in Luganda, so I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand, but people seem to be happy. So I don't really know. The only Ugandan comedians I know Salvador, I know Kansime because we worked together a lot, and then I know Dr. Okello, we worked together once, but really I just know Salvador and Kansime. But from seeing how well they're doing and seeing that there are not as many big names, I think there's an opportunities for others to grow.
Okay, there's a question we always want to ask you comedians who have done it on a bigger stages than yeah. Is vulgar in comedy also comedy?
Is what?
Vulgarness.
I think everyone just talks about what makes them funny, what makes them laugh, but it's also thinking about who you're selling to, right? So I have, if you're doing a show where there are lots of drunk people, you can be vulgar. That's what they want, right? Or if you're doing a show at a church, you're clean, because that's what they want. It's a matter of knowing what your audience wants and adapting. Most comedians have jokes about everything. So I've got the dirty jokes, I've got the religious jokes, I've got the political jokes, I've got the family jokes, and I choose what suits the audience. So like even for the show I'm doing tomorrow, I've got a vague idea of what I'm going to do, but if I go there and I see that the people are a bit different from what I expected, I will shift.
Oh,
I'll shift.
you always have a plan B.
Not even plan B, like I probably have 4 hours of jokes from the last few years, right? I could do any of those jokes. I'm doing maybe an hour and a half. So I can shift. If I'm like, oh, these people are a bit vulgar, I'll go more vulgar. If these people are a bit conservative, I'll go more conservative. So I think it's fine to be vulgar if that's the kind of comedy that makes you laugh, but I also think it's not for everyone. But if there's a kid in the room, don't do those jokes, do another joke.
Okay, have you ever been on stage and people you fail to deliver? Like people fail to.
When I started years and years ago, but I think it's like that with every job. Like if you're a teacher, the first time you're trying to give a lecture, you bore the students and you gradually learn your craft. So now I've been a comedian over 20 years. It doesn't happen.
Okay.
Right? I know my job.
You know your job.
Yeah.
You know where to touch them and they.
Yeah, I also know how to switch things up. If they don't like it, you just win them back. So for me, it's very like.
Okay, let's talk about what we're having tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. What should people expect from Daliso?
So pretty much, it's just an hour of my best jokes about things which have been making us frustrated. I think comedy is good for releasing stress. If you've got problems with your relationship, the comedian tells a joke about love and you laugh because you see what he's saying reminds me of you and your girlfriend. If you're frustrated by, the economy and lack of money, you're stressed, and then the comedian talks about money problems in a way that makes you laugh, right? And so that's the thing which I'm going to do. I almost look at comedians, we're kind of therapists. So we're going to create comedy therapy for an hour and a half. It's going to be good.
Okay, is this also part of your world tour?
So no, it was initially planned to be part of my world tour if I'd come earlier in the year.
Oh, okay.
So I contacted Salvador when I was doing Zambia, Tanzania, Swaziland, Kenya. I was doing a whole tour, and the planned show ended up being cancelled because of
COVID and everything.
problems. So we moved it until now. So it's almost like the extra a few months later after the tour is over.
Okay, let's talk about Salvador.
Yes.
How do you find Salvador?
Salvador's brilliant. I mean, like, he's one of my world-class comedian friends. Like, I can do a show with him anywhere in the world, and he's gonna destroy it. It's gonna be great. When he came to Malawi, I took him to meet the Malawi president.
Ooh.
He was making the president laugh. He's just funny, and so we always get along because we just want to make the people laugh. We compete a bit. There's always a bit of competition in that there are shows which I'm up for, and then I see they get Salvador. And their show Salvador was up for, and they get me. So I'm like, he's my enemy. But then also at the same time, we both have the same sense of humor. So it's great to work with him.
Okay, there's a problem we have in comedy. You comedians stealing other comedians' jokes.
Okay, now this is a thing which I don't experience because it doesn't happen in the UK much. Because, I mean, we televise stuff.
Yeah.
So if I do a show on a TV show and you see that I stole your joke, you take me to court, right? So, but it used to be a problem when I lived in South Africa. There were a lot of acts doing it. I didn't know you have a problem with it in Uganda.
Loads.
It has to stop because on the one hand, it hurts the comedian who came up with the joke, but in the long run, it stops how far the career can go. Because if you get a chance to have a show on Mnet and you're used to stealing jokes, you can't steal on that level.
Yeah, true.
Right? And this is the problem. It means you're saying you're forever going to just be a club comic. If you want to be world class, you have to make up your own stuff.
Okay. Then recycling. Year in, year out, the joke is recycled. Recycled, we like, you know.
If they're recycling their own jokes, it's okay. But if they're stealing other people's jokes, that's
it's okay to recycle. On every show you go, no new content.
Everyone is different. Everyone's different. This is what I'm saying is I don't know the path of another comedian. There are comedians like Chris Rock, who every show he does a new show. Every year, a new show.
Yeah.
And there are comedians like Jerry Seinfeld, who he doesn't. He perfects the old one, and it gets better and better and better to be like the perfect 1 hour show. So when people go see him, they know that I've seen some of it, but it's perfect. But it's how you choose. I'm one of those. I write a new show every year.
By the time you joined Britain Has Got Talent,
Yes.
what was in your mind?
I was already doing okay with comedy, but I wasn't doing well enough. I wanted to get to the next level. So you've got to understand there's club level, then there's one-man show level, and TV level.
Okay.
I was on the club level. I was very good doing shows with 5 people, but I didn't have any TV show, right? So like the show at Theatre La Bonita, I'm doing an hour minimum, right? That to me is real comedy. Before I did Britain's Got Talent, I'd do a package show, like Africa Laughs. It's a good show, but I'm doing 10 minutes. Someone else is doing 10 minutes. Someone else is 10 minutes. And it's fine, but I feel the real comedy is when you get to
expose everything, whatever you have.
Everything.
Okay. Okay, nice meeting you.
Good meeting
I'm
you.
Dias.
Excellent.
Okay.
Good meeting you. I'll see you at the show tomorrow.
Definitely I will be there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good.